And now on the Ron Johnson Show, we have a new segment. Me and Sam were kicking around the bucket, and we're like, hey, it's basketball season. Common foul, flagrant 1, or flagrant 2. Common foul means I'm okay with it. It's not that big of a deal. Let's play on. Flagrant 1, a little bit of concern. Watch your next steps. But hey, it happens. Now, flagrant 2, you're done. You're out. I don't like it. I'm done with it. It's a terrible idea, terrible move. Do something else. All right, Sam, take it away.
All right. I really like this segment. Why don't we pick up where we left off in the previous segment? Let's talk about the Deebo thing. So Deebo wants a trade after 2 seasons in the league. Does this worry you when it comes to Justin Jefferson, that this is going to lead to additional wide receiver empowerment, that Justin Jefferson might get disgruntled? He'll see what Deebo's doing, that he might make either financial demands, trade demands, what have you. Are you concerned about Justin Jefferson?
I am. And this is a flagrant 2 for me. But there's a flagrant 2 where I'm going to go to the monitor. I want to make sure. And this is the reason. Everybody says the right thing at the right time. I like what the Rams are doing with Cooper Kupp. If you look at Cooper Kupp and the Rams, they are telling him, you're worth the money. We're going to get this done. Cooper Kupp saying the right thing. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to match anybody. I want this to be a working out, a deal for both of us so we can run it back, win another Super Bowl. I think it's after going to the review, it's a flagrant 1. Justin Jefferson, I think the Vikings can take that same mentality with Kevin O'Connell. If Mike Zimmer was still here, I'd say flagrant 2, because Zimmer and Jefferson, the offensive guys, just didn't gel. Kevin O'Connell is going to be Justin Jefferson's friend. He's going to be in Justin Jefferson's ear. He's going to be in his side pocket. They're going to be friends like McVay and all his receivers and quarterbacks. So I think it's more of a flagrant 1. Watch your steps. Be careful, because it can come back and bite you in the butt. But I think Justin Jefferson is willing to do what it takes to win a championship. I don't know. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, so I got to walk something back. I said 2 years in the league. He's actually been in the league for 3 years, so that changes it for me. So I think it's actually more of a common foul, to be honest with you, because this puts the 49ers actually in, I know this sounds weird, kind of a good spot, because if he plays out this year and says, oh, I'm not going to re-sign with you guys, then he walks for nothing, maybe a compensatory pick. If he's making his intentions clear now, before the final year of his contract, now you can get a mother load for him. You can get so much capital or players in return instead of letting him walk for basically nothing. Mm-hmm. This actually puts the 49ers in kind of a power position. Yes, they lose a really good player. I mean, you want Deebo Samuel on your team, but at least they can get something for him. So many guys will just walk after that first contract.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I do understand that. Justin Jefferson seeing that, though. His agent's seeing that. Like, he's not going to make the same mistakes. However this Deebo Samuel thing pays out, I'm pretty sure Justin Jefferson's on high alert, because his name keeps coming up. And we know players search their name on Twitter. All right, what's the next one?
All right. This one's actually about fouls. So Chris Finch has kind of built this habit of leaving Cat and other players in the game when they're in foul trouble, and he rolls the dice. Is that a common foul to you as a coach, or a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2?
So if they win this next game tonight, I'm going to say it's a common foul. But hindsight's 2020, and I don't have that information. I'm not Dr. Strange. I can't go in and view 15 million different scenarios of Karl-Anthony Towns and his fouls. But what I can do is say, I'm going to say flagrant 1. This is why. I think some guys need to just come out. Coaching is feel. We know Chris Finch is early in this thing. So as he goes on, they've given him a contract extension. He's got to get a better feel for when should he take a player out, who can he leave in, who's smart, how is their mental. Karl-Anthony Towns, if he's mentally out of it because he's pissed off at the refs and now he's forcing the issue, it's worse. So I don't agree with leaving him in there. I think the team needs to learn to play a little bit without him sometimes. Give him a break. Let him get mentally dialed back in. Get him on the bench. Tell him calm down. Tell him shut up. Stop talking to the refs. And then get him back in the game. So that's why I'm going to put it on a flagrant 1.
Flagrant 1 is where I was going to go as well. I think you do need him in the game a lot, because you don't really have scoring bigs on this team. Like, Naz Reid is not really a big scorer. Jared Vanderbilt is not a big scorer. Greg Monroe doesn't play. Like, Cat's really the only guy who's going to get you buckets down low. So I get the urgency to leave him in, but also things can unravel with Cat pretty quickly. He can pick up 3 fouls in a minute if he's not in the right mindset.
This thing about the NBA though, they don't go big man anymore. Like a lot of teams don't post you up. So that's why I think the Warriors found that formula when they had Kevin Durant and they went small ball, where Durant was the biggest guy on the court. And so, and then the Cavs had to match. Every team had to match. Nobody could match it. That's where I think the Timberwolves need to tweak and play around with it a little bit. Just see if you can get 3 minutes out of a small ball lineup. See what happens. If you're knocking down threes, moving the ball, hey, that might be the way to do it. What's next?
Let's stick with Cat. Cat only had 7 shot attempts in game 2. Scored 15 points, got some points at the line, but only 7 shot attempts from the field. Is that a common foul, flagrant 1 or flagrant 2?
It's flagrant 2. He's got to shoot the ball more. I've said that. You look at his power, his size, his strength, not forcing the shot. There's a thing. Quality shots. Get it in the post. Force them to dictate what they want to do with you defensively. Force them to move and do the things they have to do. It was too much standing around. It wasn't what we saw in game 1. Hopefully the home energy is going to get them going. But I liked watching the Celtics Nets. If you watch the ball movement of both teams, mainly the Celtics, though, the Nets play too much iso ball where literally you know who's going to do something because the person that brings the ball up the court, if Kevin Durant's off to the far right, Kyrie is time for him to iso. If Kyrie walks up and Kevin Durant brings it up and Kyrie goes off to the right, it barely even paying attention, it's going to be iso Kevin Durant. I know what Steve Nash is doing. He played in a ball game like that or an offense like that where he dictated what happened. The difference was Steve Nash was a passer as well, though. And that's where I think Kyrie and Durant sometimes lack thinking like, hey, every time I'm ISO does not mean I need to shoot. It means I need to create space, get the player on my back. When that second guy helps, now I got to find that second guy. And that second guy has to find a third guy, almost like in hockey with the double assist. You don't get that in NBA, but they have to do that. I guarantee if the NBA could change and add the double assist, players will be happy to make that second pass if they knew they get some stats for it. But I'd say it's a flagrant 2 because he has to shoot the ball.
Yeah, I think it's a flagrant 1. I think that, I mean, he's not been aggressive from beyond the arc, and I don't know why, because on average, he shoots 5 threes a game, makes 2 of them. He's a 40% three-point shooter. Excellent, one of the best on the team. Last 3 games, including the Clippers, he's 2 of 8. Yeah. So he's taken 2 or 3 a game. He was 0 for 1 in game 2. I think that's got to be a comfortable shot for him. I know that sometimes he gets that instinct to drive. Yeah. But he also picks up a lot of offensive fouls. So I wouldn't be afraid for him to shoot it whatsoever. I trust him as a shooter.
Okay. What's next?
All right. There's another Wolves one. Anthony Edwards tells ESPN, quote, "I feel like I'm the best defender in the NBA." Is that statement a common foul, flagrant 1, flagrant 2?
I'm going to say common foul, a silly common foul at that. It's like one of those, like you have no chance of getting the rebound and you just come flying in trying to get a rebound, a la Cat in that game 7 game or play-in 7 game. I get it. Like he's trying to create this persona, let everybody know what he's about. You look at all the two-way players that constantly get talked about right now. Giannis, you got his teammate actually too. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank. Number
Middleton?
21. No, the other one, the guard. Drew Holiday. So you look at Drew Holiday, another two-way. You look at Jimmy Butler, another two-way. There's not a ton of those types where the guy's going to give you production on offense and defense. And I mean, high production, high defensive IQ. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant-esque, where Kobe's going to try to lock you down. He's going to play hard defense. That's where I think Anthony Edwards is trying to get. He's trying to remind people and let people know. But also, if you don't tell people you're a defender, people won't think you're a defender. Like Dennis Rodman let people know, I'm just here to play defense and get rebounds. And that's what his persona became because everybody knew it. He was a hustle guy. Steph Curry, we know what he's about. He's going to shoot the lights out. James Harden, he's going to step back until they call travel. Like Anthony Edwards is creating the Anthony Edwards persona, and I'm for it. That's why it's a common foul. I wouldn't bring it up now just for the simple fact of every time you get cooked in the playoffs, now people like Charles Barkley are going to bring that up and that comment up. And they're going to say, where's that defensive guy? Where's the best defensive guy now? Just like when Karl said he was the best big shooter in the league. Every time he tried to shoot from three-point, they kept making jokes about it. So I'd say give less bulletin board material and just play ball.
Yeah, well, also, Patrick Beverley's on your team, dude.
Correct.
I mean, that to me, it's a flagrant 2. Kawhi Leonard is in the league. Jimmy Butler's in the league. There's a lot of
Kawhi's in the league, but he's not in the league.
He's not out there. Correct. He is not playing on the basketball court. One more. Devin Booker injured in game 2. The Pelicans upset the Suns. I guess the chances of the Suns to get upset in this series, is that a common foul, flagrant 1 or flagrant 2?
If I'm Phoenix fans, if I'm in that area, Arizona, I'm nervous. 2 games out and it's tied, so they can possibly go up 3-1. Now, we know the Suns can still move the ball and shoot well. They have other scores, but Devin Booker is a different beast. He's a different beast. He is a different breed. This kid can shoot, and he's from Michigan. So never forget that. We fill the bucket up in Michigan. That's what we do. Everybody talk about New York is a hotbed and all this stuff. Minnesota's a new hotbed. Michigan, Detroit, we've been getting buckets. Jalen Rose, Rashawn Leonard, Chris Webber, Willie Green, coach for the Pelicans. We've been ballers. We've been about that life. Devin Booker's just another one. Amani Bates out of Memphis. He's got to find a home. Hopefully he comes to Minnesota. But Devin Booker is a different beast. And without him, you lose the fact that somebody that can score 30 in 15 minutes. Like, he can fill up a basket fast with 10 threes. Like, he is lightning quick with the ball. He's smooth. He's a smooth operator. He's fist bumping babies. That's a flagrant 2. I'd be nervous because if you go down 3-1 and he comes back too soon like KD, takes a hard step, because the difference is it feels good when you get massages and you're in a cold tub, but when you got to make that quick movement, you pull it again, you're back out again, and now you got to try to win in a game 7 maybe, or 6 or 7, and close, or even try to just stop getting closed out without Devin Booker. It's a flagrant 2.
Yeah, I think it's a flagrant 1. It's not great that you're going on the road now with a outside chance of falling behind 3-1. That would be cataclysmic, but Zion's not in this. If Zion was coming back for the Pelicans, I would be flagrant 2. But I just think that the Suns are too deep. Chris Paul is a good floor general. I think the Suns will ride this out and win that series.